This is Lance from Lance's Auto Vlog, and I'm back with a new video. So I've been busy. I've had a couple projects that were in the shop. I have some projects that were in the shop, and now I got another project to work on. So I have this beautiful Porsche Taycan to get worked on, which is an electric car, and I've taken it apart already. So we got to put all that into this car. And we've already taken it apart. So this car is kind of a challenge because this car is a base model Porsche Taycan. So it doesn't have Bose, it doesn't have Burmeister. So the customer said the car was sounding horrible. He's like, I need to do something about it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take the factory system and implement into an Audison 12 channel DSP amplifier and run a three-way active front, because this has a three-way in the front. And then we're gonna do the rear fill, which is also got a three-way, which is kind of weird because this has got a 12 speaker system. And that was kind of strange to me because it only sounded like it was a two-way in the rear, but it's a three-way in the rear door. And this car typically has a mid in the rear package tray and other stuff. So it's kind of a different car. I have yet to find the amplifier that runs all this because the actual speakers play bass. So we're gonna do, we did some sound ending already. We were already making grills for this. We're upgrading the tweeters here, so that's already being worked on. So we're gonna pull the factory tweeter out of there. We're keeping the stock head unit. We've already pulled the rear section apart, just to run all the wires, and now you can see all the wires physically ran from the factory. And then we're going to put the amps and the sub in here. So this is, you know, we're almost there as far as getting it done. We just get all the wiring in, and then we got to basically figure out if there's an amp somewhere still in here. And if it is in here, we got to figure out all the signals in going into that, and go from there. The battery's in the front. That's pretty much Taycan or Panamera or the Audi version, doesn't matter. But it's looking good. So we'll keep it going. We'll step back in from time to time and tell you where we're at, and then go from there. Now we got the fuse hoses mounted right here. Tap into the battery and put this front end back together. Some wiring done today. Ran all the wires to the jams here. Everything ran through the grommets. Everything ran through the factory loom, all the way back through the plastic buckets here. Back through here, through the harnesses here. We also did the other side the same way. That ran a power wire. That goes up and over the behind the fuse box. Back down all the way here. All the way through here, all the way in there. You got all the wires going through there. And so this car's set up kind of like I said, the radio runs everything. So there's an output for front, tweeter and mid bass come out of the radio, and the rear speakers run off the radio too. So everything's going from the radio. It's like 6 channels of output. It also has three and a half buck doors, but they're not wired to the radio directly. And I still haven't sourced where those are, but I'm not taking them out. I'm just basically gonna leave those in place and move forward. So today, sound, like I said, speakers are all wired up. We gotta make some mounts for some drivers, put the tweeters in, and then we'll go from there. But ran to the battery up front. Everything's gonna be put back together, and we're in business. So we're almost to the final stages of this Porsche Taycan. We have the doors all back together. We put the Audison 3-inch there. We put the ML 1800s in here, so this car should have good mid bass. We put the MP 2800s up here in the dash location. Can't tell, I look, everything looks factory. We push the ML 1650s in the back doors and the tweeters here. Even though there's a mid, that mid does something, it just, I don't know what it does. And all the wires are right back here to terminate. We built the box that fit in here with a single 10, shallow Hertz. So all the wires are back here. We still got to do some sound deadening and some carpeting, and then we got to make the amp racks. But it's coming together. Should be a wrap tomorrow. The customer should love it. This new software checks for delay and equalization with a sine sweep. Make sure you have the radio on the right setting, obviously, and it processes it. And it goes through everything. It tells you the roll off, the time, the boost, all that good stuff. It's kind of cool. It does a lot of cool stuff. As you can see, it's done front, left, and right. And the way this car is set up is tweeter, mid, or mid bass. And the rear speakers are like full range, looks like, but they have a roll off. You can tell from the software. You can see the roll off. Not bad, but it's there. So there's a couple things I like about the new software on the Audison. It just came out with a new one, which is software 1.011.0 and firmware 10.7.4. This particular setup, like I said, is 12 channels. I linked the subs together. You can link the subs by going up here and linking channels. And then what you do is once you link them, it's here. You can do one individual channel, or you can link 2 channels, or you can link all 4 channels, or you can link a whole bunch of stuff. It gives you all kind of choice. And then you have your individual EQ. So it's really cool because you have a choice between parametric and graphic. You have your individual channels, so your left and right, and you can link them too by linking them here. You can link them left and right. Then you got your subs, you got left and right. And one thing I really dig on this is that you can actually dial in everything with your EQ here. So this is what the EQ looks like based on the outboard EQ. So literally that's like a final tuning EQ. So yeah, let's see what it sounds like, but it's looking real good. One single 10, this thing actually humps. So the car's all done. It's got to be clean. Did some tweaking on it to get it to sound the way I want it to ultimately, but it sounds really good. EQ's right. This car is really finicky, but I think we got it dialed in. Stay tuned. And if you want to see more like this kind of stuff, just comment, subscribe. Porsche Taycan full electric car bumps.